It's Enrico Pallazzo!
Utah, give me 2.
Pallazzo!
Hey-oh! Utah, give me 2.
What is up, America and the world at large? I am Michael Govier. It's week 1, NFL, baby, fantasy football. Yay! The baseball people are pissed, but that's just the way it goes. I'm not going to address it again. I'm just going to acknowledge you one time and move on with my life. I like a lot of things at once, and I'm here to talk. I'm late. What a day. What's up, Jimmy? Mundane man in Delaware. What's good, my brother? How you living?
Great job.
You doing a great job out there? You excited? You got your parlay all set up? Did you go to the, why do you keep doing that? Good Lord. Did you go to the local casino in Delaware and get your plays in? I know you do. Jimmy, I know what you do. I'm excited. Boy, I've had a super busy morning. I have to go to America to cram in all this stuff in Michigan that I can do legally, like all the fantasy stuff and signing up for DraftKings. There's some free leagues I'm in that I'm part of a bigger competition. There's one called the Pentathlon. This is one of my leagues this year. I've been in it the last few years. I love it. It has 5 different things. Pentathlon, 5. Pentagon, get it? You got a Survivor, you got a Pick'em, you got a Best Ball, you got a Roto, and the DFS. So 5 different contests within one. And whoever accumulates the most points amongst all 5 contests wins the money. Hey, Nick Chubb season is here, Govier. Is it, Chad? Wow. Yeah, we'll see how long he can stay healthy and what he's got left in the tank. I was really high on him 2 months ago, but I didn't end up drafting a lot of Chubb, so we'll see. But anyways, I was over in Detroit trying to get all this shit done. So we got up early, like 7:30, hauled ass over there. Then we just hauled ass back. Had to drop off a rental car because my transmission died in my car this week, and the rental car was due by noon Eastern time, and I had to get back here, blah, 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 blah. So I've just been on the go. Whew. So forgive me for being late, if you care at all. I don't think that many people care. You know, the football people, we don't have enough of them. So really, we just got people who like our baseball stuff that will bleed into their football stuff. But there's a few of you out there. I know there are. So let's talk about it, man. Here we are. We can talk about lineups. We can talk about last call predictions. I got to tell you this right now. So Dolphins play the Colts today. Your 1 o'clock slate, you got a bunch of games. Dolphins, Colts. The last I saw, Dolphins are still getting 1.5. That game could go either way because I can see the Dolphins like rolling the Colts, but I could also see if the Colts hand off the ball to JT like 30 times, they could win the game. You don't rely on Daniel Jones. You use Jonathan Taylor to set up Tyler Warren, the new stud rookie, and you got yourself something brewing there offensively in Indianapolis. But the guy I like, this is a deep play here. Now, this is because Darren Waller is out, right? Darren Waller, inactive for week 1, the new toy in Miami, which I wasn't that excited about. I mean, Waller, I love Waller's story. I always have.
Great job.
Yeah, he did do a great job. But there's not a lot of production there. I don't see a guy who can give you what you need. Waller is just this dude who looks sexy. You know he's got talent, but he doesn't really seem to hit where you want him to hit or really give you anything at all, right? I mean, think about Darren Waller's career. What was there that he really offered you? My point being, why am I talking about Darren Waller who's not playing today? Well, Julian Hill is the backup tight end in Miami, and I liked him last year if he could just get more opportunities. He did not get those last year. Julian Hill did not get opportunities in Miami, but now he's starting today. He'll be the starting tight end, and the starting tight end in Miami's offense, that's something to take note of. Nobody's thinking about him. Nobody cares, but Julian Hill, if he could score a touchdown today too, I think it's like plus 500. So I do like that play. Anytime touchdown for Julian Hill. But if you're desperate for a tight end, or you play in a deep league where tight end points are premium, or the Scott Fish Bowl. I picked up Julian Hill this morning in my Scott Fish Bowl league because tight end points are so
wow, dude.
Valuable, super valuable. I think Tyler Conklin scored 15 points for his 2 catches and 50 yards on Friday night for the Chargers. Hey, our old pal, Mike Virginia, who would often be joining me on this show. Mike, how you doing, my friend? I miss you. I hope you're doing well. Hope you and the new child are kicking butt, taking names. That's what kids do, right? Go Pittman versus Miami, or Harvey Dent versus Tennessee, non-PPR. Oh, I know you, Mike. I know it's non-PPR. Those that know Mike Virginia, his home league is non-PPR. Pittman is a dead man walking. Nobody cares about Pittman. He's an afterthought. No one cares, right? But this guy was once highly touted. Thought he was going to put up big numbers. but quarterback play in Indianapolis sucks. So can Daniel Jones connect with Pittman? Daniel Jones was able to find Neighbors a lot last year. I mean, we all have heard about the target share that Malik Neighbors got for the Giants last season with Daniel Jones in for a little bit, and of course, then post-Jones, without Jones. Drew Lock. Remember that Drew Lock game? Actually, wasn't it against the Colts? Drew Lock had 4 touchdowns. It's crazy. That's wild shit. Anyways, R.J. Harvey, everybody loves the darling, a rookie running back. Who do you love more, rookie running back, R.J. Harvey or Trevion Henderson? Obviously, Ashton Genty gets all the love. By the way, you got Genty versus Trevion Henderson. Battle of rookie running backs. Vegas Raiders taking on the Pats in New England. That'll be fun. But how much will J.K. Dobbins interfere? And everybody knows these are all tropes, fantasy football tropes, cliches. Sean Payton, he loves to mess with running backs. He's like Kyle Shanahan. When it comes to owning running backs in either one of those situations, you never know what you're going to get, right? But R.J. Harvey is a second-round pick. This guy was a second round or third round, but the guy can ball. He's for real. I love him. He was awesome at UCF. He really was. And Dobbins, he's an injury away from being out. So I'm going to play Harvey here. Although, non-PPR, I'm going Harvey. I could see Pittman racking up yards. I could see Michael Pittman having 80 to 90 yards today against that Miami D. That Miami D does not strike fear into anybody's heart, does it not? So I guess that's where I'm coming at, all right? Jimmy says Steelers Darnell Washington, $2,500, eyeing me in the face, kind of. Is that a 25 to 1? Is that what you mean? Yeah. Look, I got this thing. I've been hitting these the last few years, and I don't recommend people betting on them. I really don't. First off, I got this thing. I can't help myself. NFL betting, college football betting, it's a ton of fun. But you got to know your limits. I take that very seriously. I'm also a therapist, right? So I want to be really sensitive to the dangers of gambling. Like, it ain't no joke, man. Stay within your limits. And I mean that with all sincerity. But I also like to have fun. I'm a total bozo at the same time. I got lots of sides to me. I'm a therapist who really likes to help people, and I get serious. But then I'm a total bozo who likes to take shots and take risks within his own means. So Darnell Washington, if it's plus 2,500 for him to score a touchdown, I like him. I think it's plus 6,500 for him to be the first touchdown scorer. And I love tight ends as first touchdown scorers in random games because this happens a lot. You get inside the 5-yard line, you do like a big tight end set, 2-3 tight ends maybe, right? Big formation. And then you do a play action, you turn around, and Aaron Rodgers throws to Darnell Washington or Hayward, the other deep tight end, who's not Freiermuth, who's not Jonnu Smith, right? This shit happens. Tight end vulture touchdowns, and often being the first touchdown. They're fun plays, and they're always great odds, like stupid odds. In terms of great, I mean like big money payout, but ridiculously unlikely. 65 to 1, 70 to 1. I think the biggest one I ever hit, I think I hit a 70 to 1 on, I can't remember if it was Will Dissly when he was still with Seattle or one of the other guys up there a couple years ago. There were some big returns on that. I bet $10, 70 to 1, you win a lot. That's a lot of money. $10 to win 700, right? Woo, that's a lot of fun. So yeah, I'm down with that. I like the hill take. Yeah, me too. Thanks, Jim. Dante Thornton, anytime TD. Ooh, Joe. I like where your head's at. Dante Thornton's a mystery. How much? There's so many mysteries. I cannot wait. That's actually what's really exciting this year about the NFL. There's a lot of unknowns. I really believe that to be the case. Bears, Vikings, you got McCarthy versus Caleb Williams. Ben Johnson's the new coach. Kevin O'Connell's been there, but he's got a new quarterback who's unproven. That's exciting. That'll be Monday night. I understand that. But Dante Thornton, how does he fit in the offense? Will he get some run? How many targets will he get? How many carries will Ashton Genty get if he stays healthy in this game today at New England? Because New England is going to be running the ball heavy too, right? I like Drake May to score a touchdown. Drake May is plus 320 today to score a touchdown. He can run one in, no problem. And if double down on that, another quarterback one, I like, Jimmy says, yes, 25 plus 2,500 on DraftKings. Yep, I saw that earlier. I like it. Like I said, I also like Washington first touchdown plus 6,500. Anyways, that's crazy shit. Drake May to score a touchdown plus 320. Bryce Young is plus 500 to score a touchdown, I believe. I thought that was a good bet because at the end of last year, he started running in a lot of touchdowns. He started running more and scoring more touchdowns on the ground. So if that continues into 2025, then Bryce Young is a great play at plus 500 for an anytime TD today. I think the dumbest one I like is Isaiah Davis. Why did I say it like that? Isaiah Davis. I said. I'm crazy. Jeff H. What's up, Jeff? Good to see you, my man. Make sure you subscribe, like. We're going to be here all football season. It's been a long break on the Pallazzo podcast. We haven't had a lot of shows during August. It's a time to reflect. It's a time to relax. Baseball's mostly over. I got a couple of leagues where I'm trying to win the money still. But other than that, I'm focused on football. Okay? So know where my head's at. Got it? You got it? Lock me in.
And we give it back to you, the people.
Mike knows what I'm talking about. All right, Jeff, guillotine PPR, sit one. JCM, Mims or Sampson? I think it's going to be JCM. You know what's interesting, Jeff? JCM's anytime touchdown is lower, or the odds are better for in terms of you get more return. It's plus 320 for JCM, Ja'Cory Krofsky Merritt, or Bill. I love that one.
Wow, dude.
But it's plus 320 for JCM to score a touchdown today, but Chris Rodriguez is at plus 245. I find that interesting. The better, those betting dudes, those betting people, those betting nuts at DK and all the betting sites and apps who run our lives, and we all have an app on our phone, do we not? They know what they're doing. So I think that's interesting. It's kind of a telltale sign with JCM. I would bench JCM. Mims might not play, right? Mims is questionable. We're not sure if Mims is going to go. So it might end up being Mims just because he might not play. I like Dylan Sampson a bit. I do. I'm down with... Oh, shit. Chris Rodriguez is inactive. Well, shit. That is a sad story. Mother effer. See, if you missed the beginning of the show, I was talking about how I ran around. What kind of shit is this? A healthy scratch for Chris Rodriguez? I'm so pissed right now. I love Chris Rodriguez this year. I'm so pissed. Damn it. Son of a biscuit. That bums me out. That really chaps my ass, Jeff. I'm pissed right now. Okay, well, then I think it's most certainly Mims then now, right? Because Mims is the most flaky of the three to play at all. And though I like Sampson, I'm a Jerome Ford guy. I still think they have a guy in Jerome Ford who they trust and who's been there. And everyone's jumping on Dylan Sampson and Quinshon Judkins. No. No, slow your roll. Jerome Ford is the guy there. Sampson could maybe vulture a touchdown by the goal line, but I also see a play-action scenario, Flacco to Njoku. That's right, I like David Njoku to score a touchdown. That's where I'm thinking with the Browns. But Sampson is... Like, look what happened with Amarian Hampton and Najee Harris on Friday night. Not that that's going to equate to what goes on with Cleveland and Cincinnati. By the way, I like Cleveland plus 5.5. I do. I really do. Cincinnati's got to show it to me. Cleveland, everyone's just shitting on Cleveland. But Kevin Stefanski's a good coach. And there's still a lot of infrastructure there that they can rely on. As long as there's no Deshaun Watson, that team is always better off without him. Right? I mean, am I wrong? No, I'm not wrong. I know it. But, yeah, I might as well lock in on the inactives because I was running in from the door to get onto the show because I was having a really busy morning. So you're right. I need to catch up. Yeah, okay. Yeah, nothing. That's probably the biggest surprise right now, right? In terms of inactives? Yeah, I mean, Darnell Mooney, he's out. I wasn't expecting him to play either. Yeah, none of these other ones are standing out as too big a deal. But thanks for letting me know about Chris Rodriguez. That really bums me out. I'm really sad about that right now. Buzzkill. Anthony, what's up, my man? Jets Steelers first quarter under 8.5 points. I love that. That sounds good to me. I might be a sucker here, but the Steelers, I don't know how you could play the over on Steelers-Jets. It's just such an under game. The Steelers know Justin Fields. The Jets, who remain, some people still know Aaron Rodgers. It's not the old coaching staff. I get that. But both these teams, you got their former quarterbacks going against their former teams from last year. It's tailor-made. Plus, these defenses are excellent. I'll tell you this right now. The Jets are going to have a top-dive defense this year. Combined with Aaron Glenn, the new head coach, the former DC for my Bozo Lions. Aaron Glenn knows defense, too. And they got weapons on defense. Will McDonald, who everybody was shitting on that pick. Remember, Will McDonald was a first-round pick out of Iowa State, outside linebacker a few years back. People were like, what? This pick sucks. He had 10 sacks last year. He's showing signs of life. There's a lot of good pieces on that Jets defense. They're going to be tough all year. I've drafted the Jets defense a lot as like an afterthought D in a lot of my leagues this year. I've been all about it. Jeff says, oh, you're my guy. Hey, Jeff, what's up, buddy? I know Jeff. Jeff sat right next to me when we did the first 10 rounds of our Scott Fishbowl draft. He sat right there. Jeff, how many prizes did you win? Jeff was busy bidding. He won a lot of auctions, I feel like. I feel like you were up there like 5 times winning. That was awesome. Good to see you, Jeff. Good to see you, my man. You can see I've grown my beard out a bit more since maybe I last saw you. But I remember you well. Jeff is here. That's so cool. I love that. Chad says, I think I'm benching both Josh Allen, 150 and 0 touchdowns versus the Ravens last time, while Henry demolished the Bills. I'm also benching Burrow, slow starter and tough matchup for Bryce in a perfect matchup versus the Jags. I like the boldness, Chad. You crazy, man. You crazy. I mean, benching Josh Allen is just stupid, man. It is. Maybe you can come back and tell me how stupid I am, but yeah. I don't know. Oh, Jeff said, yeah, I won 5 or 6. Good to see you, too. Right on, my man. Tough break last night. Michigan couldn't get the job done, Jeff. Bryce Underwood is the future. I'm not worried about him at all. It's tough. You're trying to go into Oklahoma and win. John Mateer, by the way, talk about dynasty football. You should, if you play in Devy leagues, I drafted John Mateer in my Devy draft, in my one Devy league I'm in about 6 weeks ago. This guy's going to be a baller. You saw it last night. This guy can move everywhere. He can throw the ball. He'll have to work on his throwing a little bit to refine that, but I love John Mateer. Dude is badass at Oklahoma. Tootin is active. Toot, toot. There you go. Anthony says, I am inactive. I am not playing DFS week 1. Yeah, I get that. I totally understand why you wouldn't want to do that because, man, week 1 is just, look at it. I said week 1. Nobody has a clue. That's what it says down here. Right there. There it is. Right there. Week 1. Nobody has a clue. Right? Come on. I'm not the only one.
I apologize.
You don't need to apologize. That's just the truth of week 1. Jeff says, go blue. I'm definitely not a fair weather fan. I know you're not, Jeff. I think you won a sweet Michigan memorabilia at the Scott Fishbowl auction as well, didn't you? Joe. Hi, Joe. Wait, did I miss Joe's first commentary? Yeah, Joe's up here. Love that we get to catch Govier in the middle of his Santa Claus transition. Isn't that awesome? You loving that? Debbie League? Is that where you can only draft Dallas players? That's funny. I'm sure Joe knows. Joe likes to joke. I'm sure he knows what a Debbie League is. Yeah, Jeff's got you covered. Yeah, Debbie. Oh, Debbie. Debbie. What else? Any questions, you guys? We can take a look. I got to look at my lineups, too, so we can maybe learn some things by going over what I got going on here. Let me fire up the old share a screen. All right, here we go. This is a league called Pigskin Jeremy Chins. I still don't know where the name comes from, but I'm Bozo Fest, in case you can't tell. Yep, that's me. All right, let's do this. There we go. That's better. And zoom her in here. Yeah, really get you in there. All right. So I got Justin Fields. Yeah, it might be a rough week 1 for me, but we'll see. This is a super flex league, just in case you're wondering. Love T. Higgins today. T. Higgins plus 130 on DK to score a touchdown. I love it. I love T. Higgins to score a touchdown. JSN against San Francisco. I love JSN this year. Very excited about him. But I do wonder if week 1 is... I actually think San Francisco is going to win that game today. I'm picking San Francisco in my picks. I'm in the Scott Fishbowl. Jeff, are you in the... you signed up for the Pick'ems and the Survivor pool for Scott Fishbowl? I'm in that as well. I'm taking San Francisco to beat Seattle outright today on the road. Uncle T, what's up, old man? If you need lineup help week 1, you've already lost. I like that. That's a good one, T. I'm down with that. Good to see you. Of course, Marvin Harrison Jr., I love him. I think he was plus 140 for an anytime touchdown today, maybe plus 160. Love that. Josh Jacobs against my Bozo Lions. If the Green Bay Packers are going to win that game today, they're going to rely on Josh Jacobs. I really have to believe that to be the case because their receiving core is a mess right now. I don't care what anyone says. Kenneth Walker Jr. or Kenneth Walker III. Jr. was a while ago. Kenneth Walker 3. Stay healthy, please. Big season coming. Love Sam Laporta this year. He was my most targeted tight end in all my leagues. I think he's going to have a great year. Chris Olave is a big risk. I drafted him a lot because everybody else was ignoring him. If that concussion's a problem, then I'm screwed. If he has concussions, I'm screwed. There's no doubt about it. And then Michael Penix Jr. I love Atlanta outright today. I do. Atlanta to beat Tampa Bay. I like Penix to put up big numbers this year. I believe in Penix. I'm a huge Penix guy. You cannot stop my belief that Michael Penix is a badass. No doubt about it. Jeff says, I only signed up for the Scott Fishbowl tadpole. Yeah, I missed that one. I did. I'm not in the prime time this year. No, I've never done the prime time, Uncle T. I just do the $350 online championship on NFFC, which I'm happy doing. I do one of those a year. But the prime time is like the main event in baseball, which is $1,800 buy-in. That's a lot. I'd have to run a check if I was going to be able to do that.
So you better run a check.
All right. So I'm not starting Dalton Kincaid, Cam Ward against that Denver D. That's tough. Jordan Mason, I might regret not starting him, but I got Josh Jacobs with Kenneth Walker. I can't do it. I really like Jordan Mason this year. I think he's going to outscore fantasy points when it comes to him and Aaron Jones. I really do. I think Jordan Mason's going to have a big season. I think Aaron Jones is fading and Jordan Mason's ascending in that Minnesota backfield. Pallazzo Podcast here, 2 L's, 2 Z's. We're live. I'm Michael Govier, in case you didn't know.
Utah.
Follow me on Twitter.
Give me 2.
At MJ Govier, G-O-V as in Victor, I-E-R. I love Jaden Reed, but that Jones fracture is going to ruin his season. He's going to be questionable every single week. It's going to be a pain in the ass, but he'll probably have an occasional game where he puts up big numbers. Maybe that's today against my Lions. I don't know. Wan'Dale Robinson is a best ball dream, in my opinion. And I like Dameon Pierce. I know Nick Chubb was mentioned by Chad earlier in the chat, but I like Dameon Pierce. I drafted Pierce a lot. And then that Arizona D, again, I think the Jets and the Arizona D were my 2 most targeted value defenses across my league. So I think I'm pretty good. Maybe I'll come back and make a change here, but I'm pretty happy with that lineup. Let's move to the earlier mention. If you just joined me live, I'm in something called the Pentathlon. That's right. It's 5 different events wrapped into one. It's this one, which is a Superflex. Yep. Superflex roto points, not head-to-head. So it's just cumulative points, Superflex, with 2 tight ends to start. As you can see here, I've got Njoku and Juwan Johnson. It's also a deeper league because you start 2 tight ends. So tight ends get deep. And it's this one, the Pentathlon. 5 events. This, the best ball, the DFS, the Survivor, and the Pick'em. Whoever accumulates the most points amongst all 5 wins. I got Breece Hall. I'm not happy about it. We'll see how that goes. I got desperate because quarterbacks were going really fast in Superflex, so Sam Darnold's my number 2 behind, you guessed it, once again, Justin Fields. And then I've got Jackson Dart on the bench. Jackson Dart might even play a few snaps in today's game. It's not just that he's the backup. And in the Superflex league like this where I need quarterbacks, I'm imagining by week 4 maybe, Jackson Dart is starting for the G-Man. Oh, and there's a fun Detroit pick for my guy Tesla, who I like. And I got the Lions defense. I like the Lions defense a lot more this year. I do. Call me crazy. Call me maybe. But that's just kind of what I'm feeling.
Wow, dude.
Yeah, maybe I'm a moron. I admit that. Joe says, I'll come back here. We'll go back. I'm a huge Penix guy, too. At least that's what I tell all the girls. Hey, bing, 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 bing. You are hilarious, Joseph, and I love you. It's so good to see you, my friend. Have you run a check, though?
So you better run a check.
Or maybe you need to thank Jesus.
Thank you, Jesus.
I don't know. One of those 2, Joe. Think it over. I love seeing you, my friend. Mwah. Hope you're well. Oh, it's 1,700, says Uncle T. Okay. And he concedes on the White Sox bet. That's cool. It was a good run. White Sox have been better this year, though. That was fun. CMC going to eat today with no Ayuk and Debo gone. I got to see it to believe it. I just don't think he's going to hold up. You're going to run him ragged in week 1 when you're trying to look at a Super Bowl run if you're the 49ers. I don't buy that. I just don't. Jeff says, I did end up going to the Fantasy Football Expo prize. Oh, that he wanted the live draft. It was a great time. Cool, you went to the... I still have not gone to the Fantasy Football Expo. That's in Canton, Ohio, right? So for us, that's not far of a drive. In Michigan, we could very much do that. I'm glad you went, Jeff. That's very cool. Very cool. In the Superflex, you need to throw some darts. Oh, my God. You are on fire, Joe. Joe is in the zone. Crack open a bush. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri. Luke McCaffrey is the one to get, not Christian. Yeah. I was really excited about Luke McCaffrey when he got drafted by Washington, but I don't know. As we get closer to week 1 kicking off full blast here, I'm just like, maybe I'll be surprised. And I'll be like, shit. He'll have like 5 catches for 75 yards or something. In PPR, that's valuable. I admit that. All right, so in that pentathlon, all these guys, Fields, Neighbors, Puka, Olave again, Gibbs, no-brainer starters. And then on my bench, I had Hollywood Brown on the bench in that one, and he scored 14.9 points in that league. So that was too bad. I started him in other leagues, but, I have a lot of Hollywood Brown, so it's cool because he was the only guy that Mahomes was really throwing and targeting to in week 1. And now the Worthy's up in the air. It's even better to have Hollywood until he gets hurt, of course, right? All right, let's go back to the board here. Ed McCaffrey is the real one to get. Great point, Anthony. Good call. Remember that neck? That Ed McCaffrey neck? Ugh. He keeps plowing away in Colorado and creating more McCaffreys. There was Dylan, Luke, Christian. There's a lot of McCaffreys out there. Rookies never pan out at wide receiver. Well, I mean, see, here's what's going to happen. Last year, people are going to point to BTJ, Brian Thomas Jr. Uh-oh. What are you going to say about that, huh?
I bet you would, Panama Red.
Yeah, I said it. Pat Bryant is Michael Thomas 2.0. I've heard that a few times. I got to see it to believe it. I think that's sorry, Uncle Ted. You're not the first person to say it, but I think it's a lazy comp just because it's Sean Payton, used to coach the Saints, blah, 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 right? JP, my man, what's up, buddy? Good to be seeing you in Arizona in literally 2 months from now. Because 2 months from now is going to be November 7th, and we'll be at First Pitch Arizona. That's cool. Jaden Reed droppable. No. I'd like to know more context about your league, but I believe your league's a 12-teamer, PPR. You have to see how this goes. It's going to be annoying as hell because of his Jones fracture, which is this. So if this is the foot, right, and this is the pinky toe, so it's this crack right here on the outer edge of it. It's going to be annoying and painful for him all season, but it's not going to get any better. So if he could just gut it out and shoot up a big-ass shot of, what's the shot? Toradol? Yeah, big-ass shot of Toradol. Have you ever had a shot of Toradol? I have. I've had a shot in the ass of Toradol. It stung a bit, but wow, it did the trick. It was amazing. I was in back. My back and like a nerve was killing me. They shot my ass with Toradol, and I could do anything. I helped a guy move the next day for 12 hours straight. That's how good it was. 12-team half PPR. Yeah, don't drop him yet. Because I think Jordan Love's going to have a borderline MVP season this year. So, assuming that, I still want to have Reed around despite his Jones fracture. I have also had Toradol. I danced out of the emergency room. Oh, man, that is hilarious. I love that.
Don't be that guy.
No, you should be that guy. If you're in pain, Toradol's better. Joe says, Toradol? Well, there goes your dream of racing in the Tour de France. Wait, no, it's not illegal. Is Toradol on the ban list of substances? It's just a pain reliever. Is that so bad? All right, what else you got? Anything else you want to talk about your lineups here? Opening day, last call predictions. I want to hear them. I'm going to go back to my lineups here and try to spur your imaginations and minds. All right, so this is the Pallazzo Podcast League, which we run back. It's a redraft only, just a pretty standard 1-point PPR. Jordan Love's my quarterback. Drake London, love him today. Love him this season. Him and Penix should be a great combo. We should like what we see out of that Atlanta offense this year. I'll be surprised if the Atlanta offense is shit. I will be surprised. I really will. That's how much I like Penix. I really do. You know what I mean? Joe says, ban for use during the race, if you want to be technical. There it is. Joe, check it in with our Tour de France update. Thank you, everyone. Now back to Joe.
Can't do it.
You can't do that on the Tour de France. Tour de France? Is that what it's called? It sounds weird. It sounds weird now I'm saying it. Tour de France. France? Wow, my brain just exploded. It was weird. Toradol makes riders not fully aware, which can lead to dangerous situations. Toradol, boy, I didn't notice any brain issues when I took Toradol. It just made me feel better physically. Rumors have it you like the Penix. I love the Penix. Give me all the Penix in the world. Penis, Penix, whatever. I love it. Tim, what's up, Timmy? My man. Woohoo! What's going on, brother? Is this where I go find out if Tyler Wells is a good streamer? Yeah, is he back? He's back. Huh? That's awesome. Cool. Tyler Wells is back. I was waiting for him to come back, and I kind of checked out on the world. Joe says you weren't taking a high enough dose, Michael. Oh, shit. I can't catch a break, can I? All right, let's go here. So George Pickens was kind of lame. Hey, I started him at Philly. I realize now I should have started Travis Hunter because he had a better matchup against Carolina. That was stupid. Whoops. Got to live and learn. I got Genty and Walker. I got a lot of Walker this year. Please stay healthy. Please stay healthy, Kenneth. Please. Tucker Kraft, my second most drafted tight end behind Laporta. I love Kraft this year. I think Kraft can be the leading receiver for Green Bay. Seriously. He could be their most reliable target all season long. I'm talking double-digit touchdowns, baby. Yeah. Zay Flowers, who I think is going to really step up in year 3. It's been an up and down first 2 years, but the best is yet to come. This guy can ball, and I believe in him. And then Trey Benson, who I've drafted almost everywhere. I believe Connor will fade a little bit this year, and Benson should get more reps. And this is one of the rare leagues where I took Kyle Pitts. That was just for fun. I like Rashad Bateman, too. He's getting dismissed. But Bateman really stepped it up last year. He had 9 touchdowns, I believe, and there's more to come with that Lamar Jackson offense. You want to be a part of that. And I'm rolling out with the Houston D in this league. Okay? Yeah, all right. Let's go over to, how about this one? Oh, boy. This must be a lot harder to see. We'll zoom in on, oh, boy, here we go. Okay. So this is the Pallazzo Podcast Dynasty, which we started up this year. First year of the Dynasty. Very excited for this. Patrick Mahomes, of course, I started at QB. There's Walker again. Jalen Warren. It's going to be a rough sledding or tough sledding. Is that what it is? Versus the Jets today. But season long, I like Jalen Warren a lot. I think he's very undervalued. I'm a big fan. There's some Jamison Williams love. Jalen Waddle, who, I got him. We'll see if he can stay healthy. If he can stay healthy and Tua stays on the field, Waddle will be a factor. There's my Bateman love. I got Bowers because this is a dynasty, and I had to have Brock Bowers. I took him real high. Plus, I believe that you get 1.75 points per tight end reception in this dynasty league, which is very, very cool. So Bowers to me was a must. Like I got to have my Bowers, right? You know what I mean, Vern? We're going back. Tim says, I kid. Don't do the football. Just stop by to say what up. What up, Tim? You know I love you, Tim. It's always so good to see your face, or at least your name on the screen. Anthony says, my playoff start today. I'm very nervous. Oh, he's trying to get baseball in. Cam Little is a must-add. 70-yard field goals. Yeah, I see a lot of people adding Cam Little. There's excitement about him. Joe says, what is Ashton Genty's best nickname, and why is it Alouette? Can you tell me, Joe? Because I don't have the answer. I'm too dumb right now. That's what's happening. Tyler Warren, I'm starting. Again, tight ends get 1.75 points per reception in this league. I love Rashid Shaheed is more of a best ball play, but the Saints are going to be throwing a lot. They're going to be behind, I feel, a lot this year. Game script dictates Shaheed can catch a lot of balls this year and put up yards. I love Shaheed. I think if he's healthy, he'll have his best year of his career this season. Rashid Shaheed, lock me in.
Genius, genius, genius.
Yes, sir. There's my Benson Love again. I'm starting him. Well, I might have to change that. And Jordan Love, my other quarterback. And then J.J. McCarthy is my third quarterback because this is a super flex dynasty, in case you couldn't tell. There's some other bench pieces if you want to see. Like I told you, I like Pierce. I like Ford. That's not news. Keaton Mitchell's more of a best ball guy probably, but I did draft him for dynasty. That made sense. There's my Reed share. Reed was going to be my most drafted wide receiver this year until this Jones fracture got worse, and I kind of pulled back as draft season wore on. I like Devon Vele. He was traded from the Broncos for a 4th and a 7th rounder to New Orleans. So they gave up meaningful draft capital to get him. So he's got to be involved. I believe he'll be the 3rd wide receiver. I love Torrey Horton in Seattle. He just got to get acclimated, but he's got a great future over there. He ran a 4.41 140 this year at the Combine. Booty. I like Booty in New England. I think he put up some decent numbers last year on a bad team. And if Drake May grows some more, Booty grows with him. I like me some Booty. There it is, Booty. And then Cole Kmet and Okonkwo, who I never give up on. I love Okonkwo. And on my taxi squad, again, this is Dynasty real quick. Riley Leonard, Isaiah Bond on Cleveland, who signed a guaranteed contract after those charges were dropped that really crapped his value. Keep an eye on Isaiah Bond in redraft this year, too. For real. I really think it's an exciting possibility that Bond could acclimate because he's so talented and his value dropped because of his off-the-field issues. And then Khalil Mullings, a guy I like. He's still questionable because we won't have that until the 4 o'clock game. I like him as a backup running back there. The guy's a brawler, in case you didn't know. You ever heard a bruiser, a brawler? Let's look here at HFL. This is a keeper league. Joe Burrow. It's 1 quarterback only, by the way, just in case you're wondering. Joe says, come on, Govier. Are you a fake Canadian or something? Gentil, you know what? I'm not up to date on the French stuff. I see it on every product I buy here in Canada, Joe, but I just don't have the French background. I don't. I took Spanish growing up. That's my specialty, okay? Yo quisiera un pan dulce. Anybody know what I just said? Yo quisiera un pan dulce. So stupid.
And we give it back to you.
And Njoku or McBride today. I don't know how anybody would say bench McBride because this is like the He's the top 2 tight end in fantasy this year, right? So there's no way you can't bench a guy that you drafted that highly, right? I like Njoku a lot against that Cincinnati D today. I really, really do. But I can't tell you to bench McBride. Even if I think I like the Saints +6. I love Arizona this year. I really do. But it's week 1. They're on. Let me tell you this. Survivor pools. The biggest plays in survivor pools this year for week 1. Denver, right? Denver over Tennessee at home. Everybody's picking that. Then there's Arizona over New Orleans. On the road, everyone seems to be picking that. There's also Washington over the Giants. A lot of people are picking that. I mean, if we look at the, if I go back to my Fantasy Cares Survivor, am I allowed to share my pick in real time, or is that bogus? Is that illegal? How come I can't see it, by the way? Am I dumb? How dumb am I.com. Oh, maybe this is on. I remember this is only on mobile, right? Never mind. It's only on mobile on Sleeper. Anthony wants to know, do you like your eggs over easy? Sure. Yeah, I like medium, but over easy is good too. I like eggs almost anyway. Scrambled wasn't my favorite growing up, but I'm open to it, especially if it's in a breakfast burrito. Imagine this beard. Imagine all the shit that gets stuck in it and how gross it stinks. Stinks. I'm having fun. You guys having fun?
Utah.
Pallazzo Podcast 202
Give me 2.
Z's. All right, we got on here. We had some fun. Oh, Joe, he figured it out. You said, you love sweet bread. That verb form wasn't quite right. Close. This is something I learned in Spanish class in high school, my first year of Spanish. I was told back then, yo quisiera. So, un pan dulce is sweet bread. Very good. But yo quisiera is I would like. That's what I was told growing up. Yo quisiera. Yo, I, quisiera, would like. I would like some sweet bread. As referred to querer or quiero, which is I want. Quere, and then modified with an O for the yo. Now people don't care. Now people are pissed. It's like, this is not cool. I thought that was what you said. Did you, Anthony? Rough. Still got your Spanish there, roughly? All right, there's about 10 minutes left for kickoff. I'm going to get out of here so I can set all my lineups and make all my final picks. Everything's hell on earth right now. I just wanted to get on the air and tell you guys I love you guys. Oh, here we go. Noah jumping in real quick. Noah, subscribe, like, be here. Our Discord's open 24/7 too. By the way, that is in the description. The link is free Discord. So more questions. We got Christian Crespo in there. He's doing start-sit questions right now, or was doing up until kickoff. Thank you, Christian. Christian's awesome. He's got his own channel in there. Discord is free. You think CMC doing good or not today? I'm anti-CMC, Noah. I didn't draft him at all this year. I had no interest. So I'm going to say no. I don't trust Shanahan. I don't trust 49ers. They're liars. They lie about injuries. They screw with our minds. I'm not a fan. No. But that doesn't mean I like Seattle's defense too. Mike McDonald. Remember, Mike McDonald's got a defensive background. He was a DC with Baltimore, also the DC University of Michigan. Before he became the head coach in Seattle, he knows defense, and that Seattle defense is only going to get better this year. I don't have any doubts about that. I love their D. So I think, even though I like San Francisco to win today, I think it's going to happen because of other guys besides CMC. Now, if it's 1 point PPR, I admit that CMC could rack up, 8 catches for a minimal amount of yards if you want to put it like that. But if you have another option, I'd be curious to see what that was, Noah. That's what I'm curious. Joe says, not Quisiera. No? Yo quiero Taco Bell. Yep, there's the. Thanks, Jeff. JP says, love the pre-football live show. Thanks, buddy. You got it, my friend. Robbie! Hey, Robbie! Hey, let's get CFL talk. Go Rough Riders 10-2, baby. That's right. I'm more of a, we know Joe is an Alouettes fan, right? Montreal Alouettes. Are the Argonauts still around? I love the Argonauts. Coaches lie. They have zero incentive to tell the truth. No shit. Thanks, Joe. We're on the same page, Joe, you and I. You know that. You look like midlife crisis Jesus. Are you AI? Oh, that's great, Robbie. Thank you. Dale. Noah says he's got James Conner in the flex, and James Cook is RB2. Saints run D is not bad. It's going to be pretty decent. But I could see James Conner getting a couple crap touchdowns or like a couple goal line touchdowns today. If you drafted CMC, let me tell you this, Noah. If you drafted CMC, then you probably got to ride with CMC, right? That's the choice you made. I don't like CMC, didn't draft him anywhere, so I don't have to make that choice. But if you draft a guy like CMC, it's difficult to bench him week 1. You got to kind of roll with him, don't you? Otherwise, you're just kind of flipping a coin here. You get what I'm saying? He's got Travis Hunter and Brian Robinson on the bench. I'd much rather start Hunter in the flex against that Carolina D. We don't know what we're going to see out of Hunter yet, but it should. If he gets snaps and opportunities, you got to think there's a few plays designed for him against that Carolina defense that should work out in his favor. Although he is a rookie and maybe it'll be tough to get going week 1. But one thing about week 1 is the first, 15 to 30 plays could all be scripted out by now. It's week 1. That's the most scripted time you're ever going to have is prior to week 1. So you got to think that Hunter's got a lot of plays lined up, at least if that's what Liam Cohen has led us to believe by them trading for him and all this shit. I like Hunter if you can get Hunter in there, but I can't. No, I got to stick to what I said, Noah. I cannot tell you to bench CMC if you drafted him. If you drafted him, you got to play your guys. That's what we do here sometimes. Now I like to take chances and put guys in if I got a gut feeling, but this is week 1. You got to take what you drafted and go with it and then respond from week 1 afterwards, okay? There you go. You guys all rule. This is Pallazzo Podcast. 2 L's,
Utah.
2 Z's. Please subscribe.
Two.
Love having you here. Love to be here. God, there's so many more predictions I ran out of time on. As far as the picks today, in my pick'ems, real quickly, I did an NFL, my Patreon. I got a great NFL sheet that I put out. It's awesome, and it's free. This one's free, so you can see it yourself. I got all these player props. I got notes on the games. I got my picks for the totals and the spreads on every game. I like Jerome Ford, plus 155 for anytime touchdown. Mike Evans, he always scores. And I think Atlanta Tampa Bay should be an over. I like the over in that game, a high-scoring affair. Evans plus 130, that should happen. Jonathan Taylor should absolutely score. He's minus 150, but yeah, it's not the great odds I would like. I also think that Sam Darnold, plus 850 to run a touchdown in later on in the 4 o'clock games. I like that. I like big butts, and I cannot lie. Brian Robinson's plus 320 to score a touchdown, and he could very well score a touchdown in that and play more than CMC ends up playing today for San Francisco. I like Tony Pollard, plus 140. I like Bo Nix, plus 310 to score a touchdown. Nico Collins, plus 140 against the Rams today. Damian Pierce is plus 400 to score a touchdown. If he ends up being a feature back, he could score today. That's great value. Devontae's plus 155. I love that. I think Devontae's going to have a great year, no matter who plays quarterback for the Rams, by the way. I believe Stafford will always be tough and healthy because he's just a badass. But even if he falters, McVay believes in Jimmy G. Jimmy G can play because McVay can get anything out of any quarterback. It's amazing. He really is. I don't have any doubts about them either way. And then Tucker Kraft is plus 220 to score a touchdown against my Lions today. I love that. I love Romeo Doubs plus 260 to score a touchdown against the Lions today because Dobbs might be the most reliable receiver in week 1 for Green Bay. For real. Jordan Love's trust him. They had big playoff games. There's a lot of trust between Love and Dobbs. I think that's great value for Dobbs to score a TD today. Have Travis Hunter and Ryan Robinson on the bench. Yep. So you got to make a choice on, you got the 4 o'clock window, so you got time between Robinson and CMC, but I think you should put Hunter in there for not James Cook because you got to start Cook, but I can see benching Connor. But if you drafted Connor, you got to start him. You got to flip a coin on that one. I like Hunter a little more today than Connor, but that's just me. So you're asking my opinion. I gave it to you. Okay? All right, there it is. I got to go. Thanks, everybody. There's more predictions I wish I could say. The Lions are still going to be awesome. Who cares about the coordinator situation? Last year, the Phillies replaced both their coordinators, won the Super Bowl. I don't give a shit about the coordinator situation. The only thing I'm curious about is how much will Ben Johnson not being there impact Jared Goff? That's the only guy I'm most concerned about. Okay? There you go. Love it all. Wish I could talk more. We'll talk more again. We'll do the Tuesday waiver wire show. I'll be back Tuesday night talking football, and we'll be doing our week 1 or week 2 pickups. Wondering, why did I draft that guy? I'm Michael Govier, MJ Govier on Twitter, X, and Blue Sky, all that crap. Bye-bye.